Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! Transpire between
The game.
Carter and Clark.
I did not, unfortunately. Too bad. Yeah, this year. I will go after this season. I promise you.
Caitlin Clark had barely clocked in as a pro when the internet detonated. One shove, one moment. And suddenly, the WNBA wasn't just on ESPN, it was everywhere. People aren't ready to hear this, but that hit on Caitlin. It wasn't just about basketball. This was a cultural earthquake, a moment that exposed deep-rooted tension in the W. Some called it initiation. Others called it assault. But one thing was clear. Caitlin Clark walked into the league with a target on her back. The clip went nuclear. Chennedy Carter, mid-game, blindsides. Clark with a shoulder shot that had Twitter X debating like it was.
Carrington all over her. Clark eyes up.
The Super Bowl. Was it dirty? Was it deserved? Or was it just another day in a league that doesn't baby its stars? The broadcast gasped. The crowd roared. But online, it split the fandom in half. She's being hunted versus she's not. Special. Welcome to the W. And in the chaos, the real story started to unravel. This wasn't just one foul. It was symbolism. A rookie walking in with historic hype, record-breaking viewership, and millions of new fans. And a league that's been grinding for decades with nowhere near the same spotlight. To some vets, Caitlin's fame felt like privilege. To some fans, her treatment felt like punishment. But here's the catch. Caitlin isn't just a viral star. She's a walking NCAA highlight reel. She earned her spot. Yet that didn't stop the elbows, the cold shoulders, the smoke from all angles. It wasn't just Chennedy. The league's physicality ramped up the minute Clark suited up. Was it jealousy? Gatekeeping? Or just the WNBA's way of saying, prove yourself first? Whatever it was, the message was loud. This ain't college anymore. And no one's rolling out a red carpet. But maybe that's exactly what's fueling her fire. If you thought that was intense, wait until you see what happens when the league's brightest new face starts clapping back. Because Caitlin's not just surviving the smoke, she's learning to breathe fire.
I would say you all inspired me just as much as I inspired you. And
Chennedy Carter didn't just knock Caitlin Clark down. She lit the entire internet on fire. And then, she refused to explain herself. This wasn't just a foul, this was a statement. Carter didn't throw hands. She threw down a challenge, and when reporters asked her to explain the shove, she hit him with, "I ain't answering that." Translation: you already know what this is. Let's be clear, Chennedy Carter's been labeled the WNBA's Sue or problem child since day one. Too emotional. Too wild. Too much. But if you've been paying attention, that's not the whole story. This is a player who's been benched, dragged by the media, and bounced around teams. Not because she can't hoop, but because she won't conform. Carter's game is raw, aggressive, unapologetic. She talks her talk, backs it up, and doesn't shrink for anyone. So when she lowered that shoulder into Caitlin Clark, it wasn't about the scoreboard. It was about respect, about proving something, about protecting a league that's always had to fight for its own spotlight. And the coded message behind that shove: you don't just walk in here with a shoe deal and think you're her. This was WNBA hazing, unspoken, unfiltered, and very real. In the NBA, we call it welcome to the league moments.
So then anybody can shoot the free throw. Of course, Indiana would have Clark as a great free throw shooter.
But in the W, where the grind is deeper and the recognition is thinner, that phrase hits different. Welcome to the W means earn your stripes. Or get humbled trying. And the reason Carter's not out here doing apology tours? Because in her mind, and in the minds of plenty of vets, she said what she needed to say with her body language. No press conference, no soundbite, just a hit that screamed, "This league isn't yours yet." But here's the plot twist. No one saw coming. The more they try to make Chennedy the villain, the more fans are starting to get it. Because in this league, The realest ones never come with a filter. And Carter, she's got zero interest in playing nice. Diana Taurasi told us exactly what was coming. And now that it's here, she's just sipping her espresso like, told y'all. Before Caitlin, Clark even touched a WNBA court, Taurasi dropped the coldest warning shot of the season. Reality is coming. You look cute on TV. Not a diss, a declaration. The WNBA wasn't about to roll over for the next media darling, and DT made sure we knew it. Here's the thing about Diana Taurasi. She doesn't just talk trash, she curates it. This is the woman who once told a ref, mid-game, "I'm gonna buy your family dinner after I foul out." She's not a player, she's a walking final boss. So when she looked straight into the camera and basically said, "Caitlin Clark is about to get humbled," it wasn't hate, it was prophecy. Taurasi's been in this league for 2 decades. She's taken elbows, thrown some, dropped 40 in playoff games, and talked her way into every single opposing locker room's nightmares. She knows exactly what it takes to survive in the W. And spoiler, it's not viral highlights. To her, the hype around Caitlin was adorable, cute even, but it wasn't the real thing. And that quote? It wasn't about Caitlin personally. It was a message to everybody. This league doesn't care about your NIL deals, your TikTok views, or your three-point record. You either grind, or you get got. Reddit's been calling Taurasi the final boss for a reason. She's not here to smile for the cameras. She's here to gatekeep greatness. And for all the people calling her bitter or washed, please. Taurasi's been dragging rookies since the flip phone era. This is just another season. So yeah, Diana didn't lie. She set the tone. And if Clark, Reese, or any new face wants to survive in the W, they better stop looking cute on TV and start fighting for their life on the court. Because reality, it's here. And it hits like a screen from Taurasi. This was never just about one foul. It's about power, paychecks, and a league asking, who really runs the WNBA? Caitlin Clark's $28 million Nike deal didn't just make headlines, it cracked the foundation. Because while she's selling out arenas and dominating the airwaves, the vets who built this league, they're watching from the shadows, still grinding for a fraction of that spotlight. This isn't just a generational clash, it's a cultural collision. Let's break it down. The average WNBA salary hovers around $130K. Caitlin Clark just inked a lifetime deal worth over 200x that. And yeah, she's a star, no one's denying that. But in a league where legends like Sylvia Fowles, Simone Augustus, and Tina Charles never saw that kind of money or mainstream love, that stings. Veterans are saying it with their chest. Respect the game. Respect the ones who came before. And if you listen closely, that phrase isn't just about honoring history, it's about feeling overlooked in real time. Angel Reese echoed the sentiment, "You can't skip steps. You gotta earn your stripes." Kelsey Plum backed it up too, calling out how respect in the W doesn't come from hype. It comes from blood, sweat, and seasons. Fans are split right down the middle. One side's yelling, "They're just jealous!" The other, "She hasn't earned it yet." But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Both can be true. Yes, Clark's fame is a blessing for the league. But yes, it's also triggering a long-standing pain. That the WNBA only got mainstream when a white rookie from Iowa pulled up with a logo 3. That's not on Caitlin. But it is on the system. And now, every hard foul, every cold shoulder, every viral quote. It's not just basketball, it's a battle for validation. So the next time someone says, "It's just part of the game," ask yourself, whose game? Because in the WNBA, respect isn't given. It's demanded. One shove, one rookie, one viral storm. And suddenly, Caitlin Clark wasn't just trending. She fractured WNBA Twitter. This wasn't just a foul. It was a flashpoint. The second Caitlin Clark hit the hardwood, the internet turned into a war zone. Race, fame, privilege, rookie hazing, everything got thrown into the fire because people weren't just debating a play. They were debating what the WNBA represents. On one side, she's being targeted because she's white. On the other, this is how every rookie gets treated. Welcome to the league. And in between, a timeline melting down in real time. TikToks breaking down frame-by-frame replays. Reddit threads titled, "Is Caitlin Clark actually good or just overhyped?" Pundits like Skip Bayless screaming about racial double standards. Stephen A. reminding everyone, this ain't the NCAA. And fans, they're exhausted. You want her protected or punished? Is this about basketball or bias? Do we hype her up or humble her down? Even the YouTube comments are battlegrounds now. She's the future of the W. She's being babied. She's being hunted. She hasn't earned it. And here's where it gets real. The WNBA's never had this kind of visibility. So the moment Caitlin Clark entered the chat with a Nike deal and ESPN mic checks, the spotlight came with a magnifying glass, and everyone got burned. This isn't new. Luka Doncic got hit with the overrated Euro label before his first All-Star nod. Trae Young got booed, shoved, and clowned before he became an Atlanta legend. But Caitlin, she's navigating that same fire, while also carrying the weight of an entire league's identity crisis. And yeah, race is part of this, so is gender, so is fame, so is fandom. There are no easy answers here. Just a messy, necessary conversation the league can't ignore anymore. So is Caitlin Clark being unfairly targeted, or just getting the full rookie in the W experience? Depends on who you ask, but one thing's for sure. She didn't just enter the league, she blew up the discourse. Caitlin Clark hit the floor, and her teammates barely blinked. No shoving, no chest bumping, no, not on our watch energy, just silence. And that silence was loud. In the NBA, if someone cheap shots your rookie, it's go time. But when Chennedy, Carter shoulder-checked Caitlin Clark into the hardwood, the Indiana Fever, they looked the other way, and fans are asking the real question. Where was the smoke? Let's rewind that play. Carter delivers the foul. Caitlin hits the deck, frees the frame. One Fever player turns around. Another glances over and keeps walking. No confrontation. No barking. No, that's our girl moment. And then, nothing. On social media, no public backing. No, we got you tweets. No unity post. It felt less like a team, more like a group project. Now, maybe that's just WNBA culture. The league prides itself on professionalism. No fights, no theatrics. Handle your business, keep it moving. But even by that standard, the silence spoke volumes. Because here's the whisper that's getting louder. Does Caitlin Clark even have the locker room on her side? She's the face of the franchise, sure. But being the face doesn't mean you've earned the respect inside. Those four walls. Especially when you walk in with a $28 million deal, a documentary crew, and every post-game question pointed straight at you. This isn't just about the shove. It's about chemistry, culture, trust. And it raises an uncomfortable but necessary question. Do the Indiana Fever feel like her team? Or are they just her co-workers? We've seen this movie before. High-profile rookies walking into veteran spaces and clashing with locker room dynamics. From Lonzo Ball's early Lakers days to Candace Parker's reported tension with the Sparks, when stardom walks in, the room shifts. Caitlin might be the future, but right now, the vibes are off. And that matters. So yeah, no one threw hands, but maybe that's the problem, because in a league built on sisterhood and solidarity, the loudest message might be who didn't step up when it mattered most. The hype is off the charts. The jersey sales are insane. But the numbers? Yeah, they're telling a different story. Let's cut through the noise. Is Caitlin Clark actually living up to the hype? Or just surviving it? Because right now, the scoreboard isn't vibing with the headlines, and the internet has entered the chat with receipts. Caitlin Clark's rookie stats are human. Shooting under 40% from the field, turning the ball over more than any other rookie in the league, three-point percentage hovering just above respectable, but nowhere near lethal. For someone crowned the next face of the W, she's not exactly cooking. But here's the part casual fans miss. This isn't unusual, not even close. Sabrina Ionescu played just 3 games her rookie season before injury. Diana Taurasi averaged 16 points per game, but shot 36% from deep and had her struggles with physicality. Even Sue Bird, the definition of consistency, took time to adjust to pro pace and size. And remember Steph Curry? He wasn't Chef Curry out the gate. His first few months in the NBA were a mess of turnovers, air balls, and ankle issues. Now, he's the greatest shooter ever. Clark's learning curve is just steep and public. Every missed layup gets clipped on Twitter. Every turnover becomes a TikTok punchline. And the takes are flying. She's overrated. She can't hang. She's a college player in a grown woman's league. But here's the truth. She's not failing. She's adjusting. Because WNBA defenses, they're different. The spacing is tighter. The physicality is real. And being a rookie with a target on your back, that's a whole different game. Caitlin's numbers might not be MVP level yet. But this isn't about perfection. It's about pressure. And no rookie's ever faced this much, this fast. So yeah, the stats aren't pretty. But ask yourself, are we watching a flop or the start of a slow burn? Because greatness doesn't always show up loud. Sometimes it shows up gritty. Turn on a WNBA game, and chances are you'll hear Caitlin Clark's name before you even see the scoreboard. This isn't just basketball anymore. It's a broadcast takeover. Let's keep it a buck. Caitlin Clark is the storyline. Whether she's winning, struggling, or getting fouled into the bleachers, the camera stays on her. And for the WNBA, that's not an accident. It's strategy. And it's starting to rub people the wrong way. Everywhere you look, it's Caitlin. ESPN promos, social media reels, even halftime features during games she's not playing in. One scroll through the WNBA's official Instagram, and it's basically a Clark fan page. She's being marketed like LeBron in 2003. But the league is smaller, the spotlight is tighter, and everyone else can feel it. You've got players quietly throwing shade, coaches subtly calling out the imbalance in coverage, and fans asking, is this the WNBA or the Caitlin Clark Invitational? Let's talk airtime. Graphic overlays showing ESPN bumping up Fever games over proven contenders. Posters with her face front and center, even when her team's in dead last. And that's not her fault. It's business. Because like it or not, she's moving numbers. Ticket sales, spiking. Merchandise, flying off shelves. Viewership, breaking records. She is the WNBA's golden goose. But that golden glow comes with a cost. When the league wraps its entire marketing machine around one rookie, what message does that send to the vets who've been grinding for years? To the MVPs, the All-Stars, the legends with barely a fraction of the spotlight? This isn't hate, it's context. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation name, but the league's obsession with turning her into a savior story might be building more resentment than results. So, yeah, she's the media darling, but every headline comes with heat. And if the WNBA keeps betting everything on Caitlin Clark, they better be ready for the blowback when the rest of the league starts pushing back. This was never just about a foul. This is about a shift. And Caitlin Clark is right at the center of it. The league is louder, messier, hotter. Every headline, every highlight, every sideline stare is part of something bigger. And whether you love her or loathe her, Caitlin Clark just kicked open a door the WNBA can't close. Look at the numbers. Attendance, up triple digits in some arenas. TV ratings, skyrocketing. Jersey sales. She's outselling entire teams. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the W, she cracked it wide open. This feels familiar, doesn't it? When LeBron entered the NBA, it wasn't just about his stats. It was about the spectacle, the pressure, the generational divide. Vets wanted him to earn his spot. The media crowned him anyway. Sound familiar? Now zoom in on the WNBA. You've got legends calling for respect, young fans flooding in for the first time, locker rooms adjusting to life under a microscope, and the league? It's in flux. More endorsements, more investment, more eyeballs, and that tension? That discomfort you're seeing play out in elbows, quotes, and viral clips. That's the price of growth. Clark didn't ask to be the lightning rod, but every shove, every death stare, every under-the-breath comment has made her one. She's not just a rookie anymore. She's a symbol of change, of conflict, of where this league is headed. Some want her humbled, others want her protected. But either way, she's the story. And there's no going back. Because here's the twist. All the players trying to send a message, they did. Just not the one they thought. They tried to shake her, tried to humble her, tried to remind her who runs the W. But in doing that, they made her unavoidable. This league is changing, and Caitlin Clark isn't just part of it. She is it. So, now that the dust has settled, let's get real. Was this just a viral moment, or the beginning of a legacy? Caitlin Clark walked into the WNBA with a target on her back and a camera in her face. She got rocked, doubted, dragged, and still dropped logo threes like nothing happened. But this league isn't just about skill. It's about surviving the storm. She's already been shoved to the ground, clowned on social media, side-eyed by legends, and ignored by her own teammates. Welcome to the W, right? The question isn't, is she good? We've seen the numbers, the passes, the range. The real question is she built for this? Because this league doesn't care about college hype. It doesn't care about record-breaking ratings or $28 million shoe deals. It cares about grit, about respect, about how you respond when they're not cheering. They're testing you. And right now, Caitlin Clark is in the middle of the fire. Some fans are riding for her like she's the next Steph. Others are praying she folds under the pressure. But if history has shown us anything, it's that greatness never comes easy. Legends aren't made when things are cute. They're made when it gets ugly and you don't flinch. So yeah, this might have started with a foul, but it's turning into something way bigger. Comment below, was that foul just physical or personal? And more importantly, do you think she's built for this? And if you think this drama was wild, wait until you see what went down when Caitlin faced off with Angel Reese again. Yeah, it got spicy. Smash that like button harder than Chennedy hit that screen. Subscribe if you're riding with us, because this isn't just a game anymore. It's the start of a whole new era.